As we are still in the early days of 2017, there's been an awful lot looking back at the just past year of 2016, Game of the Year lists, bestsellers, that sort of thing, and now we have an idea of the PS4 bestsellers as we have the PlayStation Store's top downloads of 2016. Now, while of course many people still buy retail physical copies, downloads are growing on console and gives us a pretty healthy picture of the best-selling games on the PS4. Plus that list from Amazon the other day, we are getting a fairly complete picture. So we do have PS4 games and PS3 games here for you, but of course let's start with the more relevant games on the PS4. Now what's really interesting is that it's actually an indie game at number 1 in the form of Rocket League, and that's beating some pretty heavy hitters in the form of Battlefield 1 at number 2, Minecraft PS4 Edition at 3, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare at 4. So, not exactly, newcomers to the market, and some pretty heavy hitters, as I said. And Rocket League, well, I haven't played it myself, does seem, from what I've seen, to do one thing really, really well, and make it very accessible as well. So congrats to them. That was no small feat to beat a game like Battlefield 1, which is still doing really, really well, despite being out a few months now. However, at number 5 we have seen The Division, followed by GTA 5 at 6, Overwatch at 7, Battlefield 4 at 8, No Man's Sky at 9, FIFA 17 at 10, NBA 2K17 at 11, 12 is Need for Speed, Star Wars Battlefront is at 13, Rainbow Six Siege still going strong at 14, Battlefield Hardline is perplexingly in this list at 15, NFL 17 is at 16, Skyrim Special Edition is at 17, and Uncharted 4 at Thief's End at number 18, and The Last of Us Remastered 19, and finally Final Fantasy 15 at number 20. Some surprising additions to that list, it must be said. Games such as Battlefield Hardline and so on are still doing well, despite of course being fairly aged at this point. But of course this is for the entire year of 2016, but even with that in mind, it's still surprising to see it so high up in the list, given the several high profile releases that came out this year. I'm pleased to see Final Fantasy 15 doing so well, as of course Skyrim and Rocket League, as already said, and Overwatch, unsurprisingly, is still doing really, really well. That game can't seem to get enough praise, and rightfully so. It is very, very good. So, with all that said, let's move on to the PS3 games. If we had Minecraft PS3 Edition at number 1, Last of Us at 2, GTA 5 at 3, Little Big Planet 3 at 4, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare at 5, Battlefield 4 is 6, Black Ops 3 is 7, 8 is Need for Speed Most Wanted, FIFA 17 at number 9, Watch Dogs at 10, Dragon Ball Xenoverse at 11, Dark Souls 2 at 12, Goat Simulator at 13, Red Dead Redemption at 14, FIFA 16 is at 15, confusingly, San Andreas of all things is at 16, Gran Turismo 6 is at 17, Battlefield Hardline at 18, MLB The Show 16 at number 19, and Pro Evo 2017 at number 20. Now, of course, there's a lot of games that can't be on this list due to the fact that, well, they're not on the PS3, but I do find it interesting that Red Dead Redemption is so high up on the list. That, of course, points to a fair amount of hype for the upcoming sequel. As well as, of course, Dark Souls 2 being so high up on the list. Probably a lot of people either replaying it or playing it in preparation for Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, which, of course, came out earlier last year. Now, while there's a bunch more stuff like Vita games, PS Classics, and so on, we actually have a picture of December 2016 top downloads. So, while we have a picture of the year, let's take a look at what did the best in the critical month of December for the PS4, shall we? Now we have Ark Survivors Pack at number 1, Final Fantasy 15 at 2, Need for Speed at 3, GTA 5 at 4, Infinite Warfare at 5, Battlefield 1 at 6, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 at 7, Watch Dogs 2 at 8, Star Wars Battlefront at 9, Rocket League at 10, Titanfall 2 at 11, FIFA 17 at 12, Minecraft PS4 at 13, Bloodborne at number 14, Rainbow Six Siege at 15, UFC 2 at 16, Overwatch at 17, NFL 17 at 18, NBA 2K17 at 19, and finally number 20 is none other than Until Dawn. So given that a lot of people undoubtedly got PS Store gift cards in their Christmas stocking, it is interesting to see not only some current games like Final Fantasy 15 and so on in this list, we are still seeing games that just refuse to stop selling well, like GTA 5 and Star Wars Battlefront and so on. I am pleased to see Watch Dogs 2 so high up, actually, because from what I've seen and played myself, that game is a huge improvement on the original, which of course was a massive disappointment and, did a lot of damage to that franchise's name, to be honest, and of course that did impact Watch Dogs 2 directly, given that a lot of people were seriously burned by the original. Not that I blame them, it was one of the biggest disappointments of that year. So it's nice to see that it is bouncing back a little to be so high up on the PS4 games for December, a highly competitive month, of course, in the run up to Christmas. So there you have it. I suggest you take a look in the description below. As I said, there's also a look at the PlayStation VR games for the year, month of December as well for the VR games, as well as DLC and PS Classics as well. But I feel I've discussed, not discovered, brain, the most pertinent information from this particular wonderful release of information from Sony. Again, congrats to Rocket League, very well deserved, and I'd love to hear some thoughts and opinions on this list from you guys. Do let me know your thoughts. As always, your support is very much appreciated, and I'll see you next time.